Good morning, everybody. I'm San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria. I'm proud to be standing here with so many real friends, member of our binational family, to celebrate this important day. We will soon be joined by Baja California Governor Marina del Pilar Avila Olmeda. She's on her way. Tijuana Mayor Montserrat Caballero is here. Mayor, thank you for being here. California State Senator Ben Hueso is here. The Vice Chair of the County Board of Supervisors, Nora Vargas. San Diego City Council Member Vivian Moreno. We're in her district this morning. Imperial Beach Mayor Serge Dedina. Chula Vista Mayor Mary Casillas Salas. Ambassador Carlos Gonzalez Gutierrez. Consul General of Mexico and San Diego. The Consul General from Tijuana from the United States, Thomas Rat, is here. Jason Wells, CEO of the San Diego Chamber of Commerce, San Ysidro Chamber of Commerce. Our bulldog on this issue. Very good. And we have representatives from a host of organizations. I want to particularly shout out the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce, the Smart Border Coalition, as well as members of my Latinx Advisory Board. This large coalition of supporters stands together this morning at the U.S.-Mexican border in celebration of the reopening of our border to non-essential travel. Until today, the border has been closed to non-essential travel since March of 2020, something that was absolutely unthinkable just a few years ago, but has been the case for nearly 2 years. As a result, there have been millions of dollars in economic loss and measurable impacts to local families who live binational lifestyles. Some of those families have not been able to be reunited in over 20 months. But today, that all changes, and that is why we are all so extremely happy. All of us have tirelessly advocated for these travel restrictions to be lifted, and today we are witness to the fruits of our labors as this outcome that we've all been hoping for has finally arrived. Today, the border finally reopens for non-essential travel, reuniting families, reopening businesses on both sides of the border, as well as beginning to bridge the gap that those restrictions made. This reopening comes at an especially critical time because it allows local businesses to seize the economic opportunity presented by the holiday shopping season. Not only does lifting travel restrictions improve economic health in our region, it also takes safety and public health into account by requiring proof of vaccination for anyone who is not a legal permanent resident or U.S. citizen to cross the border. It is important to note that these vaccine requirements only apply to those who are 18 years of age or older. And starting today, we do anticipate longer wait times at the border and advise people to, if they have a choice in their travel times, to choose off-peak times if possible. Peak times, for those of you who don't know, are 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday and 2 p.m. to midnight on weekends. As we welcome back the free flow of travelers at the border, I ask for folks to be patient and get ready for delays as Customs and Border Protection prepares for the influx of travelers. And I encourage folks to remember to bring their proof of vaccination. We also encourage you to join the ranks of the nearly 55% of pedestrian crossers at the San Ysidro and Otay Mesa port of entry that use MTS's trolley service or bus services to get to their destination. A reminder, this is an affordable and carbon-friendly alternative to driving across the border. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you, for your advocacy with the Biden-Harris administration, with the U.S. Customs and Border Protections, the Department of U.S. Homeland Security, and Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. All of these folks have heard from us repeatedly, over and over again. And what we're here today is say, thank you. They listened, they heard us, and they took action. So from the president to the vice president to the secretary to all of the members of the federal administration, thank you so much for bringing this relief to our region. We also want to give special thanks to our congressional delegation who have been working with us hand in glove through this whole process, specifically being extremely great champions for our region. And I want to particularly call out Congressman Juan Vargas, who should be here today, but unfortunately has to be in Washington, D.C., although we think he's doing good stuff for San Diego out there, so we're happy he's there. But he wanted to be here to celebrate this monumental day that, again, is possible because of his help. I've given you a lot of information. Now you're going to hear from a lot of my friends, our family members, our binational mega region. You will hear last from our governor, who is en route, who will be here shortly. But in the meantime, I'm pleased to introduce the mayor of Tijuana, my friend on just this other side of the border, Montserrat Caballero. Mayor?
Gracias. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all. Good morning to our friend Todd Gloria, Mayor of San Diego. Thank you very much for the invitation to this meaningful day, so awaited by all. Good morning also to our neighbors on this side, San Diegans, to the citizens of Tijuana, to all welcome. Today is a very special day. It is a day of reunion between neighbor countries, between two all cities with clearly inclusive democracies in their way of governing, of thinking and acting. The reopening of our borders happens at a very important moment. Today, we know that Tijuana's economy is a fundamental economic engine to our sister city of San Diego. We are certain that decision to reopen the border will help promote regional economies in both sides of the border and will allow a certain degree of normality to come back. It was thanks to all efforts and negotiation of our President Andrés Manuel López Obrador made to the governor of the United States that our country was taken into account. Thank you. Because the closeness and understanding among both contributed to renewing the activity in our border. But I also want to publicly recognize the action and negotiation that our friend Todd Gloria, thank you, Todd Gloria, did in Washington what without a doubt also added to setting this great news. Thank you so much. 19 months ago, our borders closed due to a global pandemic. We had to fight against great obstacles to make it thrive. Families were incomplete, separated by pandemic. But today, this is a different reality. We are certain that future ahead is much better. Because of this, let's not stop fighting together, fighting for our present. Because more than allies, partners, or neighbors, we are brothers. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor. It's wonderful to have you here this morning. Now I'll turn it over to California State Senator Ben Hueso.
It's a happy day here today, and just the amount of people that have gathered today, the amount of influential people that are representing our border region here speaks to how we all concur that this is a very important event that's taking place that affects the binational region. This is a very important border crossing, as many of you know it, the most traversed and crossed border crossing in the world. It also represents 40% of all the people that live along the 2,000-mile border between the U.S. and Mexico. 40% live in this area. So the border is very important to this binational economy that is Baja California, and especially San Diego, where so much of border goods and activity happens along this border. All our dreams and aspirations really bottleneck in this border crossing. And during the pandemic, we witnessed some of the highest infection rates and transmission rates happen in the South Bay, San Diego, in the southern part of California, around this area. And it really exposed the weaknesses in our healthcare delivery and our disease prevention system. And since then, the state of California has been taking more aggressive measures to prevent the spread of not only these type of communicable diseases, but others as well. And I'm very happy to note the amount of investments the state of California has put into the delivery of vaccinations, the delivery of tests that we're able to administer in this area that far outpaced other parts of the state. I'm very proud of that and how much our state government has invested here. But as if you noticed, this new facility here is fairly new. It represents not only an expansion of 2 new border crossings in the last 7 years, but also the creation of 3 more border crossings along the border. So it speaks to the demand and how the closure of the border has caused considerable harm to our economy and an interruption of people's daily lives. So this is a great day to celebrate. I want to thank Kamala Harris for being a big advocate in this issue, and also on the Mexican side, Marcelo Ebrard, that we had a chance. I had a chance to speak to both about this. Is basically the number one fundamental issue of the border region facing California and Baja California, and I think they were very instrumental in making this happen in their last meeting. So I want to thank them for doing that, because this is a really big issue for our region and does so much to help the people that live along this region, depend on this border to help them in their daily lives and their daily pursuits. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right, now I give you the Vice Chair of the County Board of Supervisors, Nora Vargas, everybody.
Buenos días. Nora Vargas, Vice Chair of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors. Qué gusto estar con todos ustedes. Today is such an important day for all of us, a day that we have all been anticipating. People here today, as the mayor highlighted, and our mayor of Tijuana highlighted as well, really value this partnership and understand the interdependence between our communities. I want to commend the Biden administration, all those, also the Mexican government as well, for doing everything they could to ensure that this took place. But 19 months was a long time. I will say, though, that the County of San Diego has been very proud to make sure that we've done everything in our power in the last 19 months to ensure that as we were waiting for the border to be able to cross, we were able to do some really amazing binational projects that allowed us to ensure that many Mexican nationals who were working in San Diego were able to work. The 10,000 truck drivers that were able to receive vaccinations because of our efforts. We also understood that the comerciantes, the folks on the Tijuana side, needed vaccinations for workers, and we were able to get them 26,000 vaccines in Tijuana as well. So we have been doing the work, and we're really proud of the work that we've done to make sure that our communities in South County have been fully vaccinated. But we know and fully understand that we need to do our part as good neighbors to the south to ensure that the people of Baja California also have those opportunities. So I'm happy to share with you that as we're standing here today, ready for folks to open up, we have set in motion a binational vaccination program for youth between the ages of 12 to 18. But for now, I just wanted to say thank you. Estoy muy emocionada. Estábamos anticipando este día más que nadie en que abrieran ya la frontera. Hoy en la mañana estaba comentando con el Facebook, ¿verdad? Había gente que se vino en la línea a las 2 de la mañana, 4 de la mañana para poder cruzar. Nos da mucho gusto que ahorita no hay mucha cola, así que pueden venir, vengan a comprar, vengan a participar, vengan a comer, vengan a usar los trolleys. A los queremos que todos vengan. Estamos muy, muy contentos que ya tenemos la oportunidad de que nuestras comunidades puedan integrarse otra vez, ya que muchas familias no han visto a sus abuelitos, a sus tíos y a sus parientes, y eso es lo bonito y lo precioso de nuestra comunidad binacional, right? That's the beauty of this binational community. Some of us haven't seen our uncles, our aunts in a long time, and so today is a wonderful, beautiful day. And as I said to some folks this morning, bienvenidos a todos mis compatriotas. Ya los extrañamos. Welcome back. We missed you all. We're happy that you're back. Thank you. And it is my honor to introduce Council Member Vivian Moreno.
Good morning, everybody. Buenos días. Voy a dar el discurso en inglés y voy a estar aquí después del evento por si quieren, si me quieren preguntar algo. Thank you, and my name is Vivian Moreno. I'm the council member of the city of San Diego, and welcome to San Ysidro. As the council member representing the San Ysidro and Otay Mesa border crossing, today is a great day as we celebrate the reopening of the U.S.-Mexican border. The port of entry processes billions of dollars in commerce and trade annually, impacting our national economy. Border communities have long been disproportionately impacted by the closure of the San Ysidro port of entry, the biggest port of entry crossing of the world. Border closures devastated the small businesses in San Ysidro, depleted the regional economy in San Diego, and weakened the tourism industry's ability to make a comeback. The San Ysidro Chamber of Commerce reports that since 2020, $1 billion in retail sales have been lost. Over 2,000 people lost their jobs, and over 200 businesses had to close permanently here in San Ysidro. As we safely resume our pre-pandemic activities, I am confident that by working together, we could help our border communities rise and flourish. I want to thank Director Pete Flores. He's probably in Washington, D.C. now, but I want to thank Director Pete Flores, Sally Carrillo, and all the U.S. Customs and Border Protection staff for working with the community through this difficult time. As I lobbied our federal decision makers during the border closure, I appreciate the time you took to hear my concerns on behalf of my border community. I look forward to continuing partnership with all stakeholders as we rebuild back our communities. And now I'd like to introduce Imperial Beach Mayor Serge Dedina. Thank you.
Buenos dias. Good morning. I'm Serge Dedina, Mayor of Imperial Beach, California. Soy Serge Dedina, alcalde de Imperial Beach, California. Ya estamos allá por la playa. We're right on the beach. But I want to thank all my colleagues on both sides of the border. Bienvenidos, alcaldesa. Qué bueno de verte y conocerte. I haven't been able to meet half of my colleagues that got elected recently. No he podido conocer a muchos colegas que ganaron elecciones porque obviamente no pudimos cruzar la frontera. But for me, it's not just important to thank President Biden and President López Obrador. Es importante reconocer y agradecer a President Biden y Presidente López Obrador. Pero más importante a mí, hijo de inmigrantes. More important for me as a son of immigrants. My dad came to this country, big arms welcoming my father to America. He was a refugee, a war refugee. Es dar el bienvenido y los abrazos a mis amigos, mis vecinos, colegas de trabajo de Mexico. It's important for me to extend my arms and thanks as a son of a war refugee who came to this country with open arms welcoming my father, to welcome all my friends and colleagues, family members from Mexico, porque ni siquiera donde yo voy a México, Oaxaca, Jalisco, Nayarit, Baja Sur, Baja California, los estados oceánicos, costeros, wherever I go in Mexico, I'm greeted with open arms, big abrazos, and smiles. So agradezco a mis colegas en Mexico. I thank my colleagues in Mexico and the United States, but more important, give welcome to my friends and neighbors in Mexico, because there's nothing more important than us working together in peace and love. No hay nada más importante que trabajamos juntos en amor y a paz por el beneficio de todos los niños de Tijuana, San Diego, California, Baja California, México, Estados Unidos, y ya el planeta. Thank you very much. Oh, and Ambassador, my good friend, Ambassador Carlos Gutierrez is next.
Bienvenida, gobernadora. Qué gusto tenerte por acá. Thank you very much, Mayor. I have always said that November the 8th, today, is going to be a happy day because of the reopening of the U.S.-Mexico border. The lifting of border restrictions unleashes economic transactions and a boost in cross-border tourism. More importantly, it means that thousands of friends and family members will reestablish the continuous contact that used to exist before the pandemic. Those human bonds are the most important connection between San Diego and Mexico. Mayor Todd Gloria, the governor, el alcalde Montserrat Caballero, the different mayors that you see behind me, as well as the chambers of commerce in this region present here today, have shown great leadership advocating for this day. Their work has been productive. They never lost sight of the crucial importance of reopening the border. We, Mexicans who live in this region, we are very fortunate to have local and state officials in San Diego who believe in equal access to the vaccine against COVID-19, regardless of nationality or migratory status. One example, as Supervisor Nora Vargas just mentioned, was the recent binational effort to vaccinate 26,414 maquiladora workers from Baja from May to June of 2021 here at San Ysidro. And now, as the supervisor just mentioned, following up on this kind of cross-border collaboration, and thanks to the county and Tijuana's non-governmental organizations, last week we launched a binational project to apply COVID-19 vaccines donated by the County of San Diego and the State of California to 450 minors between the ages of 12 and 18 years old from Baja California, who will be vaccinated at the consulate. Thank you everyone for continuing these efforts to get San Diego and Baja California connected again, bolstering our cross-border communities. And now, if you allow me, Mayor, it is my pleasure to introduce to you my dear colleague, the Consul General of the United States in Tijuana, Tom Riel.
Good morning, everyone. Gobernadora, felicidades.
Gracias. Thank you very much.
Mayor Gloria, Mayor Caballero. The fact that there are so many of the region's leaders from the political and economic spheres here today, and diplomatic sphere as well, with my dear friend, Consul General Gonzalez Gutierrez, it really shows what an important day this is. It is truly my pleasure, my honor to be here to commemorate the reopening of the border to non-essential travel. While the COVID pandemic, unfortunately, is not fully behind us, we are moving forward together. This change follows guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and other public health experts, and enables us to expand safe and sustainable travel across our borders that unites our two countries. This is a long-awaited and important new chapter in the binational partnership. Thanks to the hard work of both our countries, the people you see here today who fought together against the COVID-19 pandemic, we are ready to expand travel in a measured and responsible manner. Vaccination rates along the border continue to rise. Here in the region, we have more than 80% of the population above the age of 18 vaccinated against COVID. Again, as many of the folks mentioned this morning, thanks to the efforts of the folks here to get folks vaccinated. Millions of the vaccines that have been issued along the border between the United States and Mexico were donated by the United States to Mexican health authorities to vaccinate their people. Opening up to non-essential travel at our land border crossings requires foreign nationals to have appropriate travel and vaccination documentation to enter the United States. Cross-border travel is critical to economic activity in our border communities and to the broader national economy as well. Our countries are neighbors and partners, strengthened by common values, strong trade linkages, and shared cultural and family ties. Nora Vargas talked about the tios and tias who haven't seen their family members for now going on a year and a half. Travel is essential to maintaining these ties in our economies. With a shared 2,000-mile border and at least 35 million Americans who have family ties to Mexico, there can be no doubt that we may be two separate countries, but we are truly one nation with one shared future. So it is my pleasure to be here today to celebrate the resumed travel by documented foreign visitors for non-essential purposes. I'm going to repeat a little bit what Mayor Gloria said, a few tips, a little bit of advice for those who are going to travel. Consider traveling during the non-peak hours. Make sure to choose the correct lanes. Carry proof of your vaccination status. And please, a shout out to CBP. Utilize their CBP One app so that you can download your I-95 form in advance. These simple steps will make sure that the journeys across the border are faster and easier for all. Felicidades, buen viaje a todos. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Jason Wells, CEO of the San Ysidro Chamber of Commerce. Jason.
Thank you, Consul General, and welcome to our area. Wow, we can finally breathe. On behalf of my board president, Jennifer Godot, and the rest of the San Ysidro Chamber of Commerce, I welcome you all to San Ysidro, su casa, aquí en San Ysidro. It's been a long, I've heard 19, it's been 20 months, but who's counting? I really want to thank our local leadership. I think Mayor Gloria, Vice Chair, County Vice Chair Nora Vargas, and our Councilwoman Vivian Moreno have been interviewed by you all on this issue as much as I have. I really want to thank you. That hasn't happened in previous administrations, so I thank you all for that. You know, I'm going to be quick. I just want us to walk away today understanding one thing. With $1.3 billion in lost sales, with the tios and tias that haven't seen their families, with the 2,000 families that lost their ability to feed their children through job loss, we are all essential. This was a discrimination against tourism. It was crossings that were employee-related and non-employment related. We are all essential. Every fishing trip to Baja, every shopping trip to San Ysidro, every wine trip to Valle de Guadalupe, it's all essential to someone. It's all essential to our binational region. And you can see by the folks behind me, we are truly one binational family, not just a region. So with that, I thank you. Please put your cameras down and shop when you're done. And it is, you want me? Okay. I will bring back the mayor for our final guest. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you for your determined advocacy over this period of time. I know it's been particularly difficult for the members of your Chamber of Commerce, and you've definitely advocated well for them. Before I introduce our final speaker, I want to acknowledge the presence of a San Ysidro School Board member, Humberto Gurmian. Thank you so much for being here today, sir. I appreciate seeing you. We saved the best for last, or at least the history maker for last. She has been on the job 8 days now, you know, I was just grateful that her inauguration was deemed essential, so I had the opportunity to represent the United States at her inauguration, where she made history, not just as the new governor of Baja California, but as the first woman governor of Baja California. An incredible accomplishment and something that people on both sides of the border take pride in. She is our last speaker this morning. Would you please give a strong San Diego binational welcome to the governor of Baja California, Marina del Pilar.
Hi, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here in this special day for both sides of the border. Mi reconocimiento al alcalde de San Diego, Todd Gloria, Mayor, por esta iniciativa para reunirnos y con quien compartimos objetivos e intereses comunes para seguir avanzando en la buena vecindad de nuestra región. Serge Dedina, Mayor de Imperial Beach, con quien compartimos vecindad directa desde playas de Tijuana. A mi estimada amiga Nora Vargas, vicepresidenta de la Junta de Supervisores del Condado, alcaldesa de Tijuana, Montserrat Caballero, y autoridades que nos acompañan el día de hoy desde México, que también están presentes. Saludo con mucho gusto al cónsul general de nuestro país de México en San Diego, embajador Carlos González Gutiérrez, y al cónsul de Estados Unidos en Tijuana, Sir Thomas Riot. Senador por California, Ben Hueso, amigo de Baja California, Lorena Vargas, amiga asambleísta de California, consejera del Distrito 8 de San Diego, California, Vivian Moreno, y representantes del sector privado de ambos lados de la frontera. Estimadas amigas y amigos, celebro con enorme entusiasmo la apertura de la frontera entre ambos países después de casi 20 meses de cierre que nos impuso la pandemia del COVID-19. Durante el periodo de la cuarentena, solo se permitió cruces esenciales, que considero el comercio a gran escala y la interacción de personas para asuntos de salud, educación, gobierno y negocios prioritarios, limitando los denominados cruces no esenciales relacionados con el diario intercambio comercial y de servicios, lo que tuvo un impacto importante en el desarrollo de ambos lados de la frontera. Según cifras del CBP, de los 114.2 millones de personas que cruzaban al año de la frontera hasta el año 2019, se contabilizaron solamente 77.2 millones en el periodo de enero a agosto del 2020 y la cifra cayó hasta los 34.06 millones de personas en el mismo periodo durante el 2021. La pandemia cambió sin duda el rostro de muchos negocios fronterizos y de muchas vocaciones sociales relacionadas con la convivencia de la región binacional. Sin embargo, esto también nos enseñó nuevas formas de interacción y de cambio de perseverancia para combatir los efectos de la pandemia y poder regresar al acto que hoy nos reúne, el de la apertura de nuestras garitas. Se estima que para el próximo año 2025 habrá más de 25 millones de personas en la región que corre de norte a sur, desde Los Ángeles, California, hasta Ensenada, Baja California, lo que supone un intercambio de bienes y servicios cada vez más intenso y complejo, y nos obliga a pensar en que el binomio infraestructura y tecnologías de la información puede generar cruces más ágiles y también más inteligentes. Ese es justamente el caso del proyecto de la garita OTAI 2, incluido en el Plan Maestro Fronterizo California-Baja California 2021, resultado de la coordinación entre el gobierno del estado de Baja California y el de California de manera conjunta con las autoridades federales de ambos países. Dicho proyecto, que deberá estar concluido en el 2024, combina una nueva garita con más amplia infraestructura física, pero también el uso de nuevas tecnologías para agilizar los cruces, combatir el contrabando, disminuir el impacto ambiental y el costo derivados de los tiempos de espera. Adicionalmente, mi gobierno actualizará la suscripción del memorándum de entendimiento entre los gobiernos de California, Baja California y Baja California Sur para el funcionamiento de la Comisión de las Californias, porque la coordinación entre las autoridades federales, estatales y municipales de ambos lados de la frontera resulta esencial para resolver los retos que nos impone la dinámica humana, ambiental, industrial y comercial. Enhorabuena a los ciudadanos y ciudadanas de ambos lados de nuestras fronteras. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
All right, let me just wrap up by saying to the folks who were here today who didn't choose to speak, thank you. The border wait times are long enough. The press conferences need to be as long, right? But make no mistake, each of these individuals contributed to today's significant advancement for our region. I thank the governor for being here today, mayor for being here today, all the American leadership who is here today. This is truly a binational effort. And I'll give two concluding thoughts. One is I expressed appreciation to a lot of folks. Two more folks I want to call out is our law enforcement professionals, the folks from CBP, the people whose workload is increasing today and who we need to make sure are working hard. I know that they will, and I thank every single one of them for what they do. It's an important job. And I very specifically want to thank everyone on both sides of the border who's gotten vaccinated. Your responsibility in getting vaccinated, your concern for your health, the health of your family, and others in our community has allowed this day to happen. So if you're one of the minority who has not yet gotten vaccinated, I encourage you to do so. You're not going to be able to cross unless you do. But importantly, we'll not be able to end this pandemic until you do. So please, get vaccinated. Let's put the COVID-19 pandemic behind us. Let's move forward. And then the second thought I have, which is that this group here did something amazing. We did something collective. We were able to get the restrictions lifted, and that's tremendous. Let's take the similar efforts that we've done here today and drive change on our border to improve things, to drive down border wait times, because it shouldn't take so long to cross the border. Let's make sure we build Otay Mesa East, because that's critical to our economies on both sides of the border. Let's clean up the Tijuana River Valley, because that's essential for both of our environments. What we have done today should be a template going forward to drive positive change in this border region, and I thank every member of the media who's here today. You'll know that for the last 5+ years, it seems as though the border is something bad. Everyone up here knows the border is an asset in Tijuana, in San Diego, in Baja California, and in California. This is a difference maker. It gives us an edge in the global economy. It improves our quality of life. It makes us a better region. And so thank you for helping us to put out this word. And last but not least, come to San Diego. We'll show you a good time. Go down to Tijuana. You'll have an amazing time as well. Make sure that you cross and support the local businesses on both sides of the border. They've been hurt in the last 20 months. Now's the time to invest and shop local. Thank you all so much for being here today. We'll be available for one-on-ones for all the members of the media.